Good afternoon, all. The sun is shining. Welcome back to the Turn It Round the Corner podcast. Basically an update, really. This is unfortunately no podcast this week. Being perfectly honest, I started this podcast. It's more a passion, really. In the summer, been doing the Orient Hour really since lockdown. Born in lockdown, started doing the Orient Hour at Phoenix FM. Been doing some the odd game for them, doing some analysis, etc. of the game, and being there to phone into the radio station, give half time and full time summaries. But I think the podcast is taken off, but at the same time, it's really hard to constantly be getting guests, and not just any guests, getting guests that I think people will want to listen to. They've got a story to tell, that have different roles in the game that interest people, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to find a guest, speak to the guest, line up diaries, etc. And this week, being perfectly honest, I've just run out of time, and sometimes with what I've got going on outside the podcast, the podcast has taken up a lot of time that, not always I've got that time to dedicate it to. So, I also had a couple of sponsors that were lined up that have taken a little bit longer to come through. And so really I do it for the love, and it takes up time and even to edit it a little bit and get it out there and get it onto social media and sort the files, can be an arduous task. So this week, unfortunately, there is no podcast. But I wanted to give everyone an update, and I've touched on it a little bit that I come out of the city last February, purely simply for a lifestyle change. Over the last couple of years, I had a sort of a health change and something where I needed a big operation, and I went back into fintech for a year and just realised that I don't want to be doing that anymore. Obviously, there might be a time further down the road for monetary reasons I need to go back in there or what else, but I felt like there were some opportunities to do some stuff that I was passionate about, stuff that I'd done little bits of, and I wanted to dedicate some more time to that. So, I have, if you didn't know, I started a Baby Ballers in Epping in November of last year, and that was with a handful of kids, and now we've got nigh on nearly 100 children in that class. So I run classes on a Wednesday morning, Epping at Epping Sports Centre. I run classes on a Friday morning where I've just finished at Epping Town Hall, and I run classes on a Saturday morning at Epping Primary School. We're thriving. We've got an ever increasing waiting list, and we've built a little community. And it's Baby Ballers football, but ultimately, the football is really the last bit. It's all about getting children into a class with other children, building up their confidence, learning colours and numbers and shapes and activation exercises that will assist them in all walks of their sort of growing up. And then, we're drip feeding in, sport and football as the activity. So we're doing that. We do that for 3 different classes. So we've got a baby group that start from 16 months. We've got a minis group, and then we've got a ballers group that go up to 5. So I've been trying to, at 5, when they finish with me, get them a little partnership with a couple of local clubs. And even that's been a little bit difficult. It's like they can't see the worth in those partnerships where, I'm a football person. I want, my class to be able to finish with me at 5 years old. And that's given the background to, you know, and the skills and the sort of confidence to go into a football club and carry on their football journey. And it's a little bit like trying to sell ice to the Eskimos at the moment. I don't see how it's not going to benefit them, but I'll keep going and try and set that up in the Epping area because, as I say, I'm a football person and I want people to carry on. And the take from that is when my boys started playing football at under sixes, under sevens, and start playing games, and you'd be doing a warm up, for instance, and I'd look at the team that we were playing, and I'd say to his coach at the time, Martin Punt, this is going to be a cricket squad to me, and he'd say, how do you know that? And I'd look at the children and say, just look. And Bert's first team weren't Real Madrid, right? But they'd all gone through like a learn through play and assisted football, and going into football and running around and having small little games in the sports hall. And so they all sort of half knew what they was doing. And in that under sixes and under sevens, you're turning up against kids that have probably just got their kit and a pair of boots, and out they go and start playing. And that's what I'm trying to create. I'm trying to create a community where not only people are recommending it and next door neighbours are telling their friends and getting people involved, which has grown our class massively. Obviously, word of mouth, and hopefully we're doing a good job and creating a good environment, and it's lots of fun. But it then gives them a little bit of grounding that when they start their football journey, they've learned a little bit, and they might be ahead of other children, and they've got that confidence, with their teammates and the football. So that's something that I'm going to continue to push in the Epping area. I'm opening a new club in Emerson Park. So Emerson Park will start in June. Basically, the biggest and the main school in Emerson Park. So Emerson Park Academy School, which is a senior school in their sports hall. So if you know anyone there, obviously with young children, please recommend them. Look out for the socials that are coming soon to push that class start of June. And then doing lots of other stuff away from that. I'm looking at new territories to open up new clubs and expand there. Very thankful to Chris Sotheby in the Leigh-on-Sea area. So we took over a soccer school on a Monday night called 1 to 11. And I think we're up to about 35 children on a Monday night, where it's more, should we say, academy sessions where we're trying to give the kids added skills that they can go back into their club teams and give them more strings to their bow. And I'm very focused on the finer details of what they should be doing, interaction with the ball, etc. And those finer details are going to help them in their game. So that's going really well. We're looking to have some games in the upcoming Easter period. So again, if you've got any children, we've got different age groups. Please look online. It's 1 to 11. Get your kids signed up, because as I say, we're giving them the I would say additional training to what they would get with their clubs, and more focused on the finer details that are really going to help their game. It's not about just playing games and having fun. That is more drilled down on technique and what they should be doing around that game day, etc. So that's going really well. Summers has also got me involved in his coaching clinic. So Chris Summer will be coaching on 2 or 3 days a week now. I'm doing multiple one-to-one clients for him. Again, now I'm very much not about ball mastery or doing things that are going to look good on camera, and I don't record any of their sessions, or there's no social media presence around that. But again, it's really getting underneath the bonnet of that boy or girl, what position they play, what they need to work on, what parts of their game are maybe a little bit weaker, but also, what's their super strength, and really honing in on that. So that's going really well. Been doing some scouting, various games, I would say, up and down the pyramid, kids games as well. And then lastly, had some conversations with people Had some job offers recently about to go back into non-league football. Weren't quite right for me at this time. But I will be looking, I think, as I say, now is the time for me to go back into non-league football next season. So I'll be looking at a few roles. I spoke to a few people already. And as I say, got more time on my hands than ever. I'm not travelling. You know, the problem with me was when I worked in fintech, I'd have a lot of business travel. I was away a lot on a lot of aeroplanes. And then when I got back, you know, football weren't really the most important thing, or I couldn't commit diary wise to football. So there's conversations going on there. And then lastly, if you listen and you're in the Essex area, I will be running an EGA side for Lee Ramblers next season. So again, if you've got any children that are playing under 12s football, want to carry on their football journey, we've had one get together already. Obviously, it's still early days. Don't want to disrupt club teams too much with their end of season, but we will be having a couple of get-togethers in the Easter holiday, just to prepare ourselves to when the season finishes and try and get a squad together ready for under 13s EGA for Lee Ramblers. So lots going on. Bertie's current Lee Ramblers team under 12s. Rich vein of form at the moment. We are top of the table. Probably maybe finish second, third, because we played a couple of games more. But I've really enjoyed coaching the team, being involved, trying to maximise, the effort and the output of the kids, and they've done a great job. I think we're on a bit of a long-standing winning run now, and we've got another game on Sunday against Rayleigh, I think it is. So look forward to trying getting another 3 points and the boys enjoying themselves. But yeah, I'll try and get back on it next week. I have got some guests lined up. As I say, it's all about trying to just make the times work with people. As I say, I do it for free. I don't offer them anything. You know, the people that have come on are very kindly given up their time. And so you're held to their diaries and when they can fit me in, which is totally understandable. So yeah, we'll try and get back to it next week. Get another pod out there. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to the wife. So if you don't know, Charlotte has had some big roles over the years in entertainment. She looked after some big hitters such as George Michael and Mariah Carey and Tommy Hilfiger and Jennifer Aniston. But obviously she had some years off to look after the children. She's come back the last few years doing some special projects for George Michael's estate, and she's done Wham! Greatest Hits. But last few months she's been doing the PR for Soccer Aid. So doing all the press and PR for Soccer Aid. That went live on Wednesday. So all her hard work that she's been working on the last few months went out to press. And as you can, hopefully, if you've seen the press, you can see that they've managed, and Charles been a massive part of getting people like Wayne Rooney and Paul Scholes and Tyson Fury and those kind of people involved with the game, obviously for a great cause. And we look forward to watching that in June. So if you've got a bit of interest in that, watching some old pros and people from entertainment get their boots back on, it's in June sometime, I think the start of June. So go and get your tickets for that at Old Trafford. But she's been doing an amazing job in that, and it's really good to see all her hard work out in the press. She's really found the niche, I think, with some sports PR, and she's been getting some big names to work with over the last couple of months. So I'm really pleased for her. And then the sun is shining. Spring has hopefully well and truly sprung. I hope everyone out there is going to get to enjoy some football over the weekend, whether you're watching or playing. My Leyton Orient need a win massively. Four losses on the bounce, and maybe hopes of playoffs diminishing, I would say. If you're playing, make sure you bring both pairs of boots and you're prepared. Went to watch a game over at Concord on Tuesday night. Recent guest Harry Seedon was in goal for Concord. Had a very, very good game. Unfortunately, they lost 1-0 to Grays. Positive side of that, from my point of view, is Darren Manning, top man, manager of Grays. That win should probably see that their survival for another season in the Ryman North. Obviously, it's a football club that's gone through a lot over the last few years, and they'll be looking to hopefully get into the old Thurrock ground next season and really push on as a football club again. So happy to see that. Unfortunately for Harry lost, but great to see that Darren got the 3 points, and hopefully their status in Ryman North is secured for next season. So yeah, be prepared tomorrow, because the pitch seemed very, very hard on top. I don't know what it was like underneath, but yeah, that was definitely something that I noticed as the ball moved across the turf. Also great to see Ant Smith still involved and going to games over at Concord. Someone that's very much part of the fabric of that club and their success over the Cowley and Scopesy sort of years. So yeah, that's about it really. I hope everyone has a great weekend. As I say, I hope you get to see some football, play some football. Hopefully spring has finally sprung. I always look at March as the cricket season's just around the corner, and hopefully the sun comes out and winter diminishes. So yeah, hopefully, a bit of warmth and nice weather comes to us in the next couple of weeks. But as I say, enjoy your weekends. Hopefully you have a great great go at football over the weekend, as I say, whether you're playing or watching. And lastly, as always, if it all gets too cramped on that pitch on Saturday and you're playing, as per normal, don't forget to turn it around the corner, get them forwards running down the channels and get after that ball. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back on it next week. Have a great weekend, and hopefully you get to listen to another episode soon. Cheers and all the best.